Okay, good morning and welcome to Entrepreneurship. This is probably the single most important, Veronica and Joe, we're here now. We're here. We're here. We're here. We're not in any other classes or anything, we are here. This is probably the single most important class of your entire existence here at SU. Why do you think that is? Because you get out on your own, yes. What else? Start your own, okay. What else?
You finish school.
Yes, you finish school. I know this is, for most of you, this is your last term. What else?
You learn the most important parts of starting a business.
This class encompasses everything you've ever learned in your entire life. Not just here at SU. Everything, all your experiences as a person, since you were a baby until today. Your individuality, yes. Your experience, your knowledge, everything you've studied, anything you've ever looked at, happens and matters in this class. Why do you think that is? What's an entrepreneur? Who's an entrepreneur?
Everyone.
Everyone, are you sure?
Yes.
Why?
If they choose to,
If you choose to.
they can start their own business.
What if I were to tell you I disagree with you, Joe? Not everyone's an entrepreneur.
Well, you have your opinion and I have mine.
Okay? There are people that can practice the art of entrepreneurship, and that's anyone. Anyone can open up, go to Barnes & Noble, go to the 100 books they have on the shelf that say how to start a business in 10 steps, and do that. Anyone that can follow directions can practice the art of entrepreneurship. I agree with you.
But it takes leadership.
Now, I don't agree with you that you say that everyone's an entrepreneur.
Why, man, everyone can be.
Everyone can be, everyone has the potential to be. I would say 99% of people aren't. Why?
You don't have the knowledge.
It has nothing to do with knowledge.
They don't want to be independent.
It has nothing to do with that. Some people are afraid of failure.
Look at someone persistent.
They're persistent, which means they make sacrifices. Entrepreneurs know the word no more than anyone else. They will stay up for weeks on end to do exactly what they want to do. They have their child's birthday party tomorrow, they won't be there because what they're doing is so important that they're making sacrifices to make it happen. That's not to say that an entrepreneur won't every once in a while go to their children's birthday. But most of the time, the answer is no. If you ask an entrepreneur to do something, the answer is no. Who's the best person, probably one of the most famous people to say no since the beginning of time? Your parents, always saying no, right? And this isn't to get religious, but more of historical. Jesus said no to a lot of people. The most important person he said no to? The devil. The devil asked him, well, if you're so good, why don't you prove to me all these things? And Jesus said, no. He didn't have to. Entrepreneurs are always tested. People wanting to give them money say, well, if your product is so good, why don't you let me see it? Why don't you give it to me for free? The entrepreneur says what? No, because they know it's valuable. Since the beginning of time, the word no has been the most powerful tool in the entrepreneur's tool chest. Why do you think that is? How many hours do you get in a week? 40 working hours. How many hours do you get in a complete week? So how many hours in a day? 24 times 7. $168. 168 hours in a week. 24 hours in a day. If you start saying yes to people, what happens to those 168 hours?
They are gone.
They're gone. You'll never see them again ever in your life. What happened to the last 10 minutes of class? They're gone. It's gone. You're trusting your time with me. Come in, come in, come in. We're going to do class administrative stuff in the second part of class, but this is really to get you involved right from the start. You are trusting your time, these 2 hours of your life that you will never ever get back, ever. No matter what you do, you cannot get these 2 hours of your life back. You're trusting me that I'm giving you all the value and everything you can get in 2 hours. That's my promise to you. If at the very second you feel that, hey, my time is worth more than what we're doing here, you tell me immediately. Immediately say, you know what, Mr. Alcello, this last class, it sucked. You tell me why it sucked, and I'll make sure it never sucks again. And that's a promise. You have to start valuing your time. That's the one thing in life you never get back. Well, and dead people. So now let's look at, can everyone be an entrepreneur? They can be. Are all people who practice entrepreneurship entrepreneurs? No. Are you willing to give 168 hours of your week to the project that you most love?
No.
Most people aren't. Most people aren't. Most entrepreneurs work 16 to 18 hours a day. If they didn't have to sleep, they wouldn't.
Those are the ones that have no life.
No life now to leave and lead the life that no one else will have later. If you could sacrifice 1 year of your life being boring, saying no to people, but then for the rest of your life having all the money in the world to buy your Ferrari, to buy your mansion, would you do it? Entrepreneurs do.
So it's better to say no?
No when it's appropriate. This is your time. Remember, this is your time. If somebody asks you to do something and you know that it's going to be a waste of your time, you can politely tell them, no thank you. I have prior engagements.
Like homework?
Like homework. You can say no to homework. If you don't feel like it's worth your time, you can say no to homework. That's fine. So in the books, in this book here, when you get it, there's a process. It's on the very first page of the book. Step 1 all the way to the end product. There are hundreds of books with a similar process. So what does it matter? Why is this book different than any other book?
Maybe that one has the main breakdowns.
It's not. But you're right, different colors. It's not different. What makes it different?
The way you apply.
You make it different. It's all about creating the system and the process yourself. Now, there are tons of steps that you should do. Give me an example of an entrepreneur that you know. Spit out names.
That real estate. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Why do you think he's an entrepreneur?
Does he say no?
Give me some other reasons.
Yes, he wants to be on top, the best real estate agent.
Is he the best real estate agent?
No.
Why'd you choose him as your entrepreneur?
Teaches other people to be entrepreneurs. When he basically write all those books.
So you're saying you can be an entrepreneur if you write books and if you teach other people entrepreneurship. Why do you think Donald Trump is an entrepreneur? Is he an entrepreneur? Not everyone has to start at the bottom. If you win the lottery, you could probably invent whatever invention you wanted to, right? Because you have all the money in the world. You didn't have to start at the bottom. You started with tens of millions of dollars. Why do you like Donald Trump?
Because he's rich.
Okay, you don't have to like it. He's rich. Why do you think he's rich?
Because he sacrificed time to.
To make money.
He sacrificed and dedicated his time to building his business. Do you think he has a great family life?
No.
Who knows?
Probably now he does.
Probably now he does. Probably now he doesn't have to work too hard, right? But when he was young, when he was your age, what do you think he was doing? He was hustling. He was hustling like a crazy man. Has he always been successful?
Yes.
No.
No. He's lost tons of money. Tons and he's lost more money than you'll ever see or you may have ever seen in your life. He's lost it like that. Why is he still rich?
Because they gain experience.
Because he made a
His
lot of
experience,
money.
his knowledge, he knows now not how to lose millions of dollars. He had to lose it to learn how not to. And he didn't quit. He was somebody, you said persistent? Persistent. He made sacrifices and was persistent. That's what makes him an entrepreneur. Not because he's rich. He made himself rich. And rich is a consequence of his actions. You don't have to make millions of dollars to be a successful entrepreneur. You just have to make the change in the world that you want to see. So, does anyone watch Shark Tank? Yes. Tell me about the show. What happens on the show?
People go and present a product to 4 different entrepreneurs,
Okay.
and they decide whether they want to invest in the product or not.
Okay. The people that get funding, what characteristics do they typically have? What's one of the questions the sharks ask? They ask, what are your sales? Right? So who usually gets money? The people that actually have sales. If you take an invention to them, what are they going to do? How much are your sales? And you say, 0. I just invented it today. What are they going to say? Come back when you actually sell it. What are they doing? In one word, what are they doing? In one word, what are the sharks doing? When they're giving money or not giving money, what are they doing?
They're risky.
They're validating. If you have the coolest invention in the world and no sales, means what? Nobody wants it. So as an entrepreneur, you have to validate your idea. You have to validate your product, your invention, your service. You have to make sure people want it. What good is it to invent something nobody wants? No good. No good at all. If you could take a water bottle, pour water from the ocean into it, and by the time it gets to the bottom of the bottle, and it creates fresh water, how valuable do you think that would be? That would save the planet. Right? Why hasn't that been invented yet?
It's pretty hard to do.
Probably pretty difficult, right?
Wouldn't it also destroy the planet? Since they would overuse it?
Perhaps. Things would kind of naturally resalinate. But the point is, there are things people need, right? I'm going to give you a minute to think about something that doesn't exist that you need. I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to ask you all what it is. So put on your thinking hats and think. If it's tough, visualize your day. Visualize when you wake up. Visualize when you're getting ready. Visualize when you're driving here to school.
I need personally or something?
Personally. What is it that's missing that could be improved, that could be fixed, that could be better? From the moment you wake up to the time you get here, what is it that isn't the way you want it to be?
Making breakfast, making lunch, making dinner.
So think to yourself, I'm going to give you a minute, and I want to hear what you come up with. Everyone has to say something. Yes.
I have something, but it's not for my personal need, but so other people can use it, and I was thinking about it the other day.
That's fine. We'll give everyone else a minute to think about it.